Hello friends, how are you? Hope you all are doing well. Welcome once again in this session. Today I am here with the new chapter of biology for class 8, that is microorganisms, friend and foe. Before going to start this chapter, student, if you recall what we have learnt in our previous chapter, of course we have learnt about agricultural practices, but during that lesson I must have told you about certain kind of organisms that helps in making our soil fertile, even some kind of that organisms helps in nitrogen fixing. Yes, maybe you recall that is about microorganisms. So students, today we are going to know about this microorganisms in detail, right? So let's proceed to the chapter. Okay. So the chapter is microorganisms, friend and foe. And today's topics to be covered are introduction, microorganisms, habitat of microorganisms, microscope, types of microorganisms. Okay. So students, before going proceed to this chapter, I would like to ask you one question. Why should we keep our surroundings clean? And how should you take care of yourself to maintain personal hygiene, and why? What is the reason you have to clean your surroundings clean and also to maintain your personal hygiene? So students, might be you have seen your parents asking to wash your hands, wash your clothes, brush your teeth regularly. Okay, even you have seen your parents, your mother, your helpers, they always try to keep your home clean. Might be they clean your floor, might be they clean your utensils, so many things they do for the cleanliness. So they maintain and try to maintain cleanliness at your home throughout the day. Even if we correlate with this topic in respect of present scenario, what we are told to do, as we know that this whole world is suffering from this or fighting with this COVID-19, that coronavirus. Okay, so we are told to wash our hands every now and then, maintain social distancing, keep distancing, even stay at home. So what is the reason behind it? What is scary about it? Okay, so of course there is some fear of microbes, that is the fear of microbes, right? So these microorganisms, we can also say them microbes or germs. Even you have seen in TV advertisements that they told us you use that soap, you kill the germs. You use Dettol, you will kill the germs. So what is that? What is germ? Germ is actually that microbes or microorganisms. So friends, what we observe in our surroundings, what we observe in our surroundings, we observe many kinds of animal, plants, human beings, birds, insects, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so we can see them, that is why we can recognize them. Okay, because we can see these all kind of organisms, that is why we can recognize them. But apart from these, there is a world of this kind of hidden organism, that is called microorganisms or microbes. So these small organisms, because we cannot see them, it's extremely small, so we cannot see them with our naked eyes. So that is why we cannot recognize whether they are present over here or not. But what happens, these organisms present everywhere, every time. So because we cannot see them, so we cannot save ourselves, we cannot protect ourselves. Okay, so then if it might be there is question maybe comes in your mind that if we cannot see them, then how we can recognize? So yes, your question is right, because it is only seen under a microscope. Okay, this microorganisms only seen under microscope. What happens actually, before the invention of microscope, nobody knows about this hidden world or hidden microorganisms. But the moment when the microscope invented, then we came to know about this hidden world or microorganisms. So these microscopes helps to see this minute microorganisms. Actually, this microscope having magnifying power. Okay, so what is first of all microorganism? It is a device which help us to see small organisms which we cannot see with our naked eyes. Okay, so this microscope having a capacity, having a magnifying power that helps to enlarge the objects many times bigger than its original size. Okay, it means you can imagine if, like, let me show you. Sorry, if the magnification power is 2000, okay, if a microscope having 2000 magnification power, that means a small microorganisms can uh, enlarge, or we can see that 2000 times bigger. That is the advantage of microscope. So now the question is, who invented this microscope for the first time? Actually, there is a huge history about this, but there is one scientist whose name is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. He was the person who invented the microscope for the first time. Actually, because of the invention of microscope, we came to know about the microorganism, and this is the scientist, this is the one who discovered microorganisms also. So during his observation in a pond water, he observed bacteria for the first time. Okay, so Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he discovered the microorganisms as well as the microscope. So what is the study of microorganisms is called? So study of microorganisms is called microbiology. Okay, study of microorganism is called microbiology. And because this Anton von Leeuwenhoek has examined so many microorganisms, so that is why he is called father of microbiology. He is called father of microbiology. And the person who study about the microorganisms, they are called microbiologist. Okay, now let me show you the structure of microscope, and I know that you might be know about it, you have seen that microscope, but I just wanted to show you the microscope. Now on your screen you can see this microscope. This is a microscope that helps to see this kind of microorganisms. If you can see that here it is the eyepiece. Okay, this is the stage where we keep that microorganisms in a slide. Okay, and that slide is covered with a cover slip, so that जो भी हमने उस पे specimen रखा है, that must be fixed at the point. Okay, so this is eyepiece which helps to see the object. This is the stage which helps to keep that specimen to the stage, and these are certain, you can see this rough adjustment, fine adjustment, and these are the lenses which helps to see the microorganisms. Okay, so that is how we can see the microorganisms. So this is the picture of rough diagram of a microscope. Now we move to the next topic, that is about our habitat of microorganisms. So now students, where these microorganisms live, where they found? Actually, these microorganisms are found everywhere, everywhere, from the extreme cold to extreme hot. That means extreme cold to extreme hot. It also found in radioactive wastes. It is also found in volcanoes also. It is found in air, water, soil, and even inside our body, inside my body, inside your body, even in animals and plants. And that is why it is told plants and animals are good carrier of microbes. So, what you have known about that? What is the habitat of microorganisms? They can be found everywhere from extreme cold to extreme hot, air, water, radioactive waste, so many places. It can be also present in desert where there is no water, as well as they also found in a marshy land where lots of water are there. So it can be present everywhere. Okay. So that is why it is called, the plants and animals are called the good carrier of microbes. What do you mean by this carrier word? It means we are carrying that bacteria or organism inside our body. And if it is infectious, so it may spread from one to the other person. Like if you have cough and cold, okay, so what you are told to do, whenever you coughing and sneezing, you cover your mouth. Why? Because it may affect some other person. When you cough and sneeze, that microorganisms comes out, and they, through the water droplets, is come out to the atmosphere, and we inhale that air. That means they also affect us. So that is why it is told we are the good carrier of microbes. Now we have to know about different of microorganisms. What are these groups of microorganisms? So these are like bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, and virus. Okay, so these are the different groups of microorganisms. Among all this virus, if we can say about virus, this virus is smaller than bacteria. As we know that bacteria is smaller, but this virus is smaller than bacteria. But it has also a very unique feature. Actually, it is the border or link between non-living and living organisms, because this bacteria having unique feature. And what is that unique feature? That is, they act or they behave like non-living beings as well as living organisms. So that is why it is placed in between living and non-living beings. So basically four groups are there, but because it is a microscopic organism, that is why we placed into the group of microorganisms. But the feature of this virus is totally different from other organisms. Like this is inactive when, or non-living when they are in the atmosphere. Whenever they are in the atmosphere, they are acting as a non-living organisms, and when they get the host body, they act as a living organisms. So one by one we will note about this microorganisms, their habitat, their nutrition, their reproduction on and all. So now we move to the about the very first organism, that is called bacteria. And so what is bacteria? So bacteria is a single celled microscopic organism. So what do we mean by single cell? Single cell, it means one cell. We know that animals, plants and human beings are made up of many of cells, but there is certain organisms, they are made up of only one cell, and this is bacteria. This is the bacteria which is made up of only one cell. Like I have just drawn a rough diagram. This is the DNA material and one organelle called ribosomes. Okay, so this is single cell because they have made up of one cell. Microscopic because it is extremely small. They are called prokaryote. What does it mean? Prokaryote means no nucleus or not advanced nucleus. We can say pro means primitive or karyote means nucleus. Matlab they have no well defined nucleus. Okay, they do not have true nucleus or no any membrane bound organelles. So that is why they are called prokaryotes. Only what they have inside their body, that is having their DNA material and organelle called ribosomes. We will talk it later when we go through this about all microorganism. We will talk in detail. So they are also pathogenic and non-pathogenic. Bacteria are also pathogenic and non-pathogenic. So what do we mean by pathogenic and non-pathogenic? Pathogenic means it is somewhere harm us. It may causes disease. And non-pathogenic, it is good friend. That means it is helpful. Like if you have heard that about that microorganism called lactobacillus. It is a bacteria, and this lactobacillus helps to making curd. So they are helpful. So they are non-pathogenic. They do not causes diseases. But pathogens who can causes disease like cholera, like typhoid. These are certain diseases which is caused by the pathogenic bacteria. Okay. So that is about the bacteria and where they present. What are their habitat? So they are called omnipresent. Omnipresent matlab they are present everywhere. They are found in air, they are found in water, they are in radioactive wastes, extreme heat, extreme cold. So they also can found everywhere, everywhere, inside your body, outside the world. So that is about bacteria. In next lecture, we will know about again in detail with the bacteria, their nutrition, their habitat, their reproduction and all. Till then, you go through this video, and if you have any problem, any question, when you come to the online class, you ask me the question. Or till then, thank you very much and God bless you.